Today we're doing another mocking of the mock draft. And after we do these, we always rank the rookies after from a super flex dynasty fantasy football perspective. That's something you're into. If you like what you're seeing, smash that subscribe button. Really helps the channel and really helps me know that you like these types of videos. Today we're covering CBS. Sometimes their mock drafts are a little off the rocker, so if anything, this could be comical. Pick out the picks that you don't like. Let me know if you don't like what your team selected or if you have any issues with. I'm going to cover these from a fantasy football perspective, but I love to hear your insight. Let me know in the comments below. But let's go ahead and jump into this. Going over this mock draft that came out today, came out earlier this morning. We got trades involved. So that's going to be a little crazy. But let's go ahead and look through this mock draft. Let's see what's happening. First thing, Colts jump up to 1. Trade with the Bears, it looks like. And they select their guy, Will Levis. We're getting Will Levis to the Colts a lot in these mock drafts. It's became a thing here. Think about it. Like I always say, you have Jonathan Taylor to lean on. Maybe Michael Pittman, depending on this trade or whatever's happening. There were rumors, but they're always fake, so he's probably going to have Michael Pittman. This team's been investing at wide receiver, other skilled positions. Will Levis could be an interesting spot. A lot of people in the fantasy football community hates him, but a lot of people in the draft community likes him, so it's very interesting. I think this is a good spot for him, though. A gunslinger, indoors, going to have some weapons. 101 in the actual NFL draft. That being said, we go to the 102. We got Bryce Young going to the Texans. Ain't nothing new with that one. He's been mocked here for eternity. This is almost destined, it feels like, so far. So him to the Texans. Got some pieces there. A transitioning club, a team that has been trying to get it together for a bit, and now they got their guy, and he's going to hold Superflex value. No questions about that. Going on down, and we go to the 5th pick in the draft. Panthers jump Seattle, make that trade so they can get their guy C.J. Stroud. You're going to have DJ Moore to throw the ball to. This team's transitioning. They don't have Christian McCaffrey anymore. However, this is a ball club that could build around them. Plus, the draft capital is nice here. We're talking about 3 top 5 quarterbacks. They should all hold value in Superflex and rookie draft, especially in Dynasty Fantasy Football formats, because you got that draft capital for all 3 of these guys. Moving down, Anthony Richardson to the Raiders, pick 7. The highest draft capital I've seen him get in a mock draft. Surprisingly, this is the highest I've seen him go. The sticking point here is with the Raiders. He's a developmental quarterback, and I don't know if this is going to be the right spot for him. They got Devontae Adams, but I don't know if Devontae Adams is going to want to be there too long. What's the plan with him? I need to be able to see a foreseeable plan. Carr's gone. Are they going to have another quarterback there? Are they going to let him loose early? With them drafting him this high, they might. So that's going to be interesting. Josh Jacobs is still going to be there? Or is he going to be gone in this situation? What's going to happen here? Is going to need some tools. This team's kind of transitioning. This team is going to be changing a lot here in the next couple of years. This is going to be okay. But nonetheless, metrics-wise, I like the draft capital. I like that he's a Konami code quarterback. I think he can get you some fantasy production. I don't like the landing spot, but I feel like this could be okay from a fantasy perspective if everything hits or works out. But that's an if as well, but that's the same with all the other quarterbacks. Moving down here, Titans skip out on wide receiver, and Bryce Young gets his rookie wide receiver in Jordan Addison, so they're going to pair them up together. The thing about Jordan Addison is he's transitioning to the game, and now he has to deal with Bryce Young transitioning. Thing about that, you might be able to catch him at a discount in this year's draft or next year, and maybe he pops off later. I don't see him busting at all. I feel like there's going to be some production out of him. The top-end production might not be there with him, but I feel like he's a safe investment. That being said, if he goes to a situation like this where he's dealing with a rookie quarterback, you might want to wait a little bit. I imagine he's going to be cheaper in drafts anyways. I think people are going to fade him, especially with how the running back class is looking like. So he might fall in the draft a little bit for you here, so you'll catch him at a discount. You might be able to catch him in discounts and trades later on down the line as well. Get you a first-round wide receiver with decent draft capital, Quentin Johnston to the Patriots. I don't feel like this is even a possible draft pick. Yes, Bill Belichick is dipping back into round 1 wide receiver waters and imposing long, striding Johnston. I feel like this isn't a fit. I feel like Johnston, though, has the capabilities of being productive anywhere, but I also feel like that the odds of him busting is higher than the other 2 big wide receivers in this draft. Quentin Johnston's got this upside, though. It's hard to work against him and get you yards after the catch. Mac Jones needs a guy like this. Overall, people are going to fade him. I know, because I've done videos with wide receivers going to the Patriots in these mock drafts, and I know what the comment section says, and every single time they don't like it. People are going to fade Quentin Johnston here. Think about that. You don't fight the market. You take the discounted wide receiver, especially if the running back's there you're not over the moon about. So back in first-round rookie pick, maybe early second-round rookie pick, depending on what the running backs do. You're going to catch him at a discount here, which I'll always take. I love the discounted first-round wide receivers. You'll catch that. We had some last year. That's just what happens. Michael Mayer to the Detroit Lions. They got rid of TJ Hawkinson. They made that trade. Now they're looking to bolster the tight end position. They get their guy. Lions fans, I know you watch the channel. Let me know what you think about this one. From a fantasy perspective, this is a good spot. This is a sneaky spot because I haven't had a mock draft here mocking Michael Mayer to the Lions. And the volume's there. I like Jared Goff with the Lions. The volume in the passing game. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown, take some load off there. Maybe Jameson Williams hits, and you got the deep threat, and then leaving the middle of the field open for Michael Mayer. But tight end's going to tight end, and until he starts doing his thing, you're looking at volatile production, even if he's developing or turning into one of the better tight ends in the league. So making that first-round rookie draft pick still might be risky, even if he hits. It's not against him. It's just the position and the overall strategy in fantasy football. That's just the thing. And you know running back's going to be loaded. Speaking about being loaded, the Chargers pick up Jalen Hyatt. And the thing about Jalen Hyatt, I've been quiet about him. I haven't talked about him much. Usually in these videos. I haven't done a video on him yet. And you know what? I was kind of biased because he wasn't like a huge big name or anything years prior. Then he started to blow up. And then I was making sure I cancel out all my biases there. And I feel like he's a good air yards guy. And get downfield, create separation that way. And those are wide receivers that if they start hitting, they start getting snaps. If they're on the field, can be very productive, at least in a volatile situation. Here, he's got a good quarterback. He's got good volume here coming out. The good passing game. This is a good situation. This is going to bump him up boards. A lot of people are going to start liking him because of this pick, and I can understand that. I don't hate him at all. I feel like what you're getting is a good deep threat and a guy that's going to get downfield, and air yards is something we chase in fantasy. We talk about that during the season, week to week. We look at the air yards, the share of the air yards, the targets, and all that, and that's something he will get if he's on the field. And look at that. We have Palmer getting production. We have some other jabroni wide receivers getting production for the Chargers. So Hyatt going to the Chargers is just a boost elevation. You know you chase talent and not situation, but we know how the talent is here, and we know what the situation can do here. So I feel like this is an alright investment if you want to go that route. Jackson Smith-Njigba to the Giants, and I feel like this is a low-key good situation not many people are talking about. The Giants had some jabroni wide receivers do some good things this year. Now they're getting a very good wide receiver. I feel like even though he's being drafted in the first round, people are still talking him up a bit. I feel like he's very underrated. This pumps him up my board a lot. Even though he's got 25th pick draft capital, I'm still liking him at this spot. I'm still liking him. He can play in the slot. I bet you they'll put him outside a bit. I'm sure he can do that. Even though he played like 95% of his snaps at the slot at Ohio State, I'm sure he can turn it on. I feel like in New York, this is a good situation. You got Wan'Dale Robinson coming back from injury. You got Darius Slayton there. You got some other wide receivers on the come up, Hodgkins and all that. Now you add this guy who could develop into a stud for you, and that's something you've been needing for a bit. Coming on down. And there's an elephant in the room here. But it's not that one. It's Parker Washington to the Bills. First time I've seen him go in the first round of the mock. And we've done a bunch of these. I don't feel like this is really realistic. I don't feel like this has happened. Nothing against him. He had some production at Penn State. He does some good things. Decent route runner. Kind of savvy. Buffalo Bills, decent landing spot. I'm sure some people are going to pump him up a little bit. First rounder to the Bills. I mean, damn, that's a good spot to be in. I feel like if the community likes this, I'm sure he's going to be a mid to early second round rookie pick. Maybe fight to be a late first rounding, depending on what the running backs do. And I think the running backs are going to hold their own still this year. Now we're finishing the draft. 31st pick because the Dolphins lost theirs. And another thing is they're predicting the Eagles to win the Super Bowl possibly. Is that what we're doing here? And Bijan Robinson going to the Eagles. I've seen this mocked a few times. I don't see him falling this far. I feel like someone's going to pull the trigger. Someone's going to pull the trigger before this. I don't see him falling this far. Shame on this guy for doing a mock in February and having him fall to 31st overall. Shame on him on some of the other things as well. And the thing he wrote here, Robinson running behind the league's best offensive line. Sounds like a blast. Thanks. That's why I fell this far. That is why I fell this far. Thank you for the analysis. But round 1, 31st pick overall, fantasy football, of course everyone's going to love this. Of course he's not dropping in value. Of course this is great. Bijan Robinson to the Eagles. Dream draft pick. But now we're finished with the first round. Let's go dig in and rank these players real quick. Now we're here at the handy dandy tier maker where we can rank these players, all these players in their landing spots to get an idea of how they should be valued in this conundrum of players just drafted in this mock draft. So first things first, stud tier. What do you think I'm going to do? It's going to be Bijan Robinson. I'm going to keep him up there. This pick holds so much value in 1 QB and in Superflex. This is going to focus on Superflex mainly. If you're only into 1 QB, just bump the quarterbacks down. But if I didn't do a Superflex, it'd be really weird. It'd just be quarterbacks at the bottom, and it'd be just a weird bit of rankings. But to the second tier, because we know everything about Bijan here. Stud prospect. Best running back prospect since like Saquon Barkley. Adrian Peter-esque type prospect. Getting anointed to that. Production, athleticism, we've seen it all. 5-star out of high school, doing backflips and catching balls and workouts and stuff. That's Bijan Robinson. But tier A is very interesting here, and I've been pontificating about it a lot. So here we go. We got our quarterbacks. Our top 2, Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, always and forever. But I'm going to put JSN, Jackson Smith, and Jigba into the mix. And then I'm also going to throw Will Levis in there because first pick overall in the draft, quarterback, he's got a gun on him. He's going to have some pieces with him. Jackson Smith and Jigba, I love the landing spot. Good wide receiver. And usually, ADP-wise, it goes Bijan, quarterback, skilled player, maybe another skilled player, maybe the next quarterback then. So these rankings kind of go with ADP a little bit, and it kind of makes sense that way. Also, the next running back, usually it's Gibbs. It could be another one, though. Would be in this range as well. If you want to pontificate what the running backs are doing, the other ones, but we'll probably have another running back in this tier. I guarantee you that. Maybe two. I think this running back class will do a little bit better in the draft than what people are projecting, even though people are starting to get a little sour on it. Tier B is kind of funny. We got Anthony Richardson. You can't push him down. He's got a high draft position. And I get the situation's a little bit sketchy. You got Devontae Adams there for a little bit. But things are going to change. We're in a transition period. And I don't know. I just want to see how things unfold there. I like him as a fantasy football quarterback. I love the Konami code. I like that stuff. And I think he can hold his own. But I also want to dig in more on him. So I'm kind of being wishy-washy. But I think this is a solid rank here. Jordan Addison, Jalen Hyatt, Quentin Johnston. Where'd Jalen Hyatt go? There he is. So here we go. Tier B. If you know the science behind tiers, you got them in a tier and you rank them however you want them to be at. So usually they flip and flop with each other, and I'm the kind of guy that does that. I diversify. But I feel like the value breaks are here, where Anthony Richardson's going to mix in with these guys pretty well. I feel like there's going to be a bump up for Jalen Hyatt. No way in hell I'm putting him up ahead of Jackson Smith and Jigba, even though the Chargers did. Quentin Johnston, again, you chase talent and not situation, so I'm not dropping him too far. Same thing with Jordan Addison. However, in this situation, the strategy would be to try and pick him up next year. Because if Bryce Young is developing slowly, obviously you're going to catch Jordan Addison at a discount. Jalen Hyatt could hit soon. If you want a wide receiver that gets you production now out of these three, that's Jalen Hyatt. Quentin Johnston will probably be on the field early as long as he's doing well. And then Jordan Addison, I'm going to catch him at a discount. I'll be drafting him in the back half of the first round, obviously, in these leagues. However, I just know what people are going to do with this. And I just understand like a good possibility that there's going to be a transition period and I can buy him on the cheap next year or the year after. Next year's draft's going to be good as well, and those picks are going to hold value as well. People are already talking it up because people get in the minutia of this draft. They're not understanding what they're looking at, so they're starting to dip into 2024 pick. But going into this last year, we got two more guys. Michael Mayer, tight end's going to tight end, baby. I feel like this is a great spot, though. If you're looking to invest in a tight end, in a Michael Mayer, you have to invest when the time's right at the tight end position. Second roundish is the right call. However, late first, if things are looking bleak, if this draft sucks for the running back, and a lot of these running backs we like fall, I don't see that really happening. Like, say a lot of these running backs go in the fourth round, and we were anticipating them going third and second round, and like, say, for some damn reason, only two running backs get drafted on day two, then maybe he sneaks in the first round. More than likely, though, the best bet is to pull a mid-second, late second, because the thing about him, even though he's a first-round tight end, the tight end position is very volatile from week to week. Even if you're a top 5 tight end, top 8 tight end, you're just going to be very volatile on the top end. So the opportunity cost of you getting that running back, getting that wide receiver is going to slip through your fingers if you chase that unicorn. Plus, you can use your second-round rookie pick, maybe a top-tier third-round rookie pick, and get you a veteran tight end that's being productive, getting good enough results, or get two of those guys and stream them, and you'll be all right and you'll be patched up. The days of getting Travis Kelce's and stuff like that, that's so hard to do and peg that if you keep trying to chase that tail, you're going to miss out on some players. Parker Washington, going to the Bills, going in this situation, he will be bumped up. He will be bumped up because of the draft capital and situation. Usually he does not get drafted in the first round of any mock draft. I'm not hearing any rumblings of him through any of the media circuits or anything like that, of him rising this high. So right now I just don't know how I feel about it. Just objectively, metrically, late round first, a guy not really projected to go this high, going to a good spots. Second roundish draft capital feels right. If the running back position dies in the draft, then he'll get bumped up a little bit more. But I feel like he's a player that you're going to catch at a discount. If you need a wide receiver, again, you can chase this draft capital, chase this situation. There is some talent here. And again, this can be fueled by volume. I just don't see it happen. There's other wide receivers that we can go in this round, like a Josh Downs or somebody like that. So here, I feel like this was just plugged in for the Bills. The Bills kind of have a need for a wide receiver, but they can get by without it as well. So that's something that you need to look at. But I feel like these ranks are pretty strong. B and A are closer than what they look like. Usually when you do these ranks, B and A is pretty damn close, but you can tell how things will be tiered off due to ADP. Hyatt is a big jumper here for going to the Chargers. Bijan's going to Bijan. Addison and Johnston you can't drop. Even though there's a good chance Addison's going to start off slow. Same thing with Johnston, but Johnston could be a big target getter in New England. It really depends on the rapport with Mac Jones starting off. Anthony Richardson, high price dart throw with high upside. You're talking about an elite level QB1. You're talking about a guy that if this guy hits, is valued up here and then some. That's the thing. There's a chance that you could get this down here to hell, or you can get this up here. That's a speculation that a lot of people are going to take, and I will too at the right price. Will Levis might be a little safe here with the Colts. Stroud's all right here. Young's all right here due to the value of Superflex. That's what I got here on the rankings. Let me know what you think, what you got with these rankings, what you like, what you hate, especially with the other picks that they had in the mock draft. I know we only covered the Dynasty fantasy football positions and none of this IDP stuff, but let me know what you're feeling with this. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. It's only going to help you going forward. I got what you need for rookie drafts. I got what you need for Dynasty, and I got what you need for in season, so why not? want to thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.